Next game up, Dutchmen versus the Shockers. Dutchmen have not played the way that I thought they was going to play this season. Chris, wide receiver Chris, one of the best weapons that they have this year. I'm surprised of Frank. Frank dropped off, made the All-Star team last year. But he doesn't look good this year. Nook has been inconsistent. There's no reason why he shouldn't be talented. Now, their quarterback, Chris, one of the best talent quarterbacks in the league. The problem is I have sources that tells me he's not a great leader. Meaning, you can't be the quarterback and you're in the huddle and 5 or 6. You have 6 guys on offense with you. So it's 7 guys in the huddle. Mm-hmm. 5 to 6 guys is all talking in the huddle. Why you got a quarterback there for? Why is he the quarterback? You cannot have that. And that's because these receivers are putting themselves on the same level as the quarterback. Anton is a coach of this team. He has to let the guys know, let Chris call his plays, shut up, and if you can't do your job, I'm pulling you out.
And the thing about it is, obviously, he's, a quarterback that's joining this team, coming from elsewhere. So it's not like he's one of their original members.
Weeks Lane.
Yes. So it's not like he's one of their original members of this team. So they're still trying to get the vibe going together. Yep. I don't think that they cemented it yet, and that's why it reflects on the record that they have this season. But when they click very good, especially when Chris connects with Chris.
Yeah.
Your whole CNC thing. Listen, they've been connecting since the first day that Chris has been playing in this team as quarterback. They need more of that, but they need a lot of other guys to step up on offense. If they have that guys stepping up for Chris and he's able to connect with them, I think they have that much stronger team. And that's when you have to pay this team a little more seriously. But until then, they have to show that they should be taken seriously.
And the Shockers have been a huge disappointment. And the reason they've been a disappointment is they started up the season 2-1-1. Not bad. And then they lost 4 straight. They lost 14-7 to Violators. They lost 18-9 to Shockers. And they lost They lost 14-7 to Violators. They lost 18-9 to Dem Gettas. And lost 18-0 to Carver. Then they lose 27-21 to Rep City.
All of those, the majority of those games, they were all close.
Yeah, but you lost to all 3 top teams in your division. I mean, your conference. No, your division. Same thing. Ramsey, again, is on the other side. The same thing as Chris. I think Ramsey's arm is a little stronger. I think he's as fast as Chris. I think his arm is just slightly stronger. But his decision making is like you hope for more. The mistakes this guy make is unbelievable. It makes no sense why this guy makes the mistakes he makes.
I disagree with you on the whole mistakes thing. It's not mistakes. These are made decisions. These are decisions that he makes. And the reason why I say that is because Ramsey, to me, he looks like someone who just lives on Vegas. He's somebody who belongs and looks like he comes from Vegas, right from the casino, because he loves to gamble. That's Ramsey's game. He gambles, bets high, and tries the best to win high. But because of that, when you lose big.
And only reason I'm not going to kill him and put it all on him, his guys can't catch.
Oh, my gosh.
So, I mean, he's gambling high.
Yes.
But it's the people he's gambling with. These guys cannot catch. He's betting on his team, and his team is begging on the floor because they're dropping the ball on the floor. So, don't get me wrong. He attempts to win games by himself, but these guys have not helped them all season with the drops that they've been making. We're going to jump right into the game. Second down, Chris gets blitzed by Pig, rolls right, then runs left for a decent gain, picking up the first down. Chris on 4 rush, again, runs for a decent gain. Third down, Chris gets blitzed by Chris from the Shockers. Throws deep to Chris on the sideline. Big gain, gets him near the 10-yard line. Let me say that again.
Read that again, please.
Chris gets blitzed by Chris, throws to Chris for a big gain at 10-yard line. Unbelievable.
This is the second time this happens. Keep going.
But Chris has been their best weapon.
Yes.
Wide receiver Chris. He has been stretching the field. This guy's been playing great. 4th and goal, Chris fires Cuba in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0, Dutchmen take a lead.
The thing about it is this connection has been working no matter what game they play against, no matter who their opponent is. Chris has been able to find Chris downfield. For some reason, Chris, the receiver, is able to get through defenses, and he literally disappears on them because you always see him when he gets that pass wide open, sitting by himself. So it seems like there's a lot of defenses that still haven't figured this out yet. But when that's your only weapon, that's when things get harder. But they're able to drive down the field. Chris is eventually able to find Cuba in the end zone. That's a great way to start their game.
Second down, Ramsey on 4 rush, runs for a nice game, picking up the first down. Second down, Ramsey on 4 rush, runs for a decent game. Last down, Ramsey's blitzed by Matt. Throws a Naheem in the back of the end zone, almost picked off by Steve. Turnover on downs. That's a bad throw by Ramsey. He had Naheem in the back of the end zone. He has to make a better throw on that, and it was almost picked off. That's going to get stopped. Second down, Chris throws to Chris, who has a step on Ferrari on the sideline for a big game, picking up the first down. Ferrari then gets the flag for tackling. That is a great play by Chris, the C&C connection. Anytime Chris can get past a guy named Ferrari and come away with the big catch, that's great. But Ferrari gets frustrated and tackles him. That was definitely a tackle. What you think?
And if you get, and honestly, I kind of understand the frustration because no matter what team this Dutchman team has faced, they find ways to get through with this combination. Chris finds ways to get open downfield, and Chris, the quarterback, is able to find him. Ferrari's yet another defender that gets frustrated because it looked like he was probably expecting that, but he wasn't able to do anything about it.
Second down, Chris finds Nook in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Cuba gets the extra point. 13-0, Dutchmen score again.
And this is the second drive where they use Chris to go downfield, the receiver I'm talking about, to get to the end zone, the goal line, and then somebody else steps up and gets a touchdown. This is the exact way Dutchman's offense needs to function.
Yep.
They use that connection to get downfield, and then other guys step up when they get into the red zone, and then they score. That's the way they need to play.
Second down on 4 rush, Ramsey runs for a decent game. After a short pass, 4th down, Ramsey throws a Naheem in the corner end zone. He makes the catch. Ref said he never had control of the ball. Incomplete turnover on downs. What you think of the play?
And on that, I can't say that I can make any decision on that play because guys got in the way, and you can't necessarily see if he bobbled the ball or not on this play. That's unfortunate, but these things happen. So you got to go by the ref's call, and they call that it wasn't a catch.
Chris gets the ball. On 4 rush, he runs for a nice gain. If you look here, Naheem can't catch Chris. Chris is one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league, and that is a great run by Chris. Third down on 4 rush, Chris gets sacked by Welch. Huge sack by Welch. Dutchman have to punt. That is a great stop by Shockers.
And they make the switch to Welch. Welch is a person that can keep up with this with Chris. Chris is very fast, probably one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league. But Welch is a playmaker in his own right, and he's one person that could chase down Chris, and he's able to get the sack there.
Last play before half, Ramsey gets the ball. Mikey just misses the sack. Ramsey throws it up, picked off by Brian, taking us into the half, 13-0. If I'm the Shockers, if I'm the Dutchman, I love the way we've been playing. Pedal to the metal, going downfield, home run, hit or miss. And we've been successful with it. 2 out of the 3 times, I'll take the 13-0 lead.
And Shockers right now, their offense hasn't been clicking. You see your other team, the opposing team get their rhythm going. Now it's our turn. This half has to be our half. We got to get our offense moving. Our defense, I can't necessarily, hang our hats all the way on our defense. Our offense is what we are prided on. So we got to make sure that we make it happen the second half. Otherwise, we're giving away the game.
Ramsey throws short to the receiver on the sideline, who runs for a decent game. Then Ramsey on 4 rush throws a slant. Mikey gets flagged for rushing early. That's going to give him a first down. Second down, Ramsey throws the meats in the middle for a decent gain. 4th and goal, Ramsey throws the Naheem in the front of the end zone. Dropped, turnover. And like we said, this team has been dropping passes. That is a great throw by Ramsey. Finding Naheem, but Naheem can't help him, drops the ball.
And not only has Ramsey been, taking a lot of risks this season, but like we mentioned earlier in the game, they drop so many passes that it makes Ramsey's job harder, and it makes you want to take gambles. So until this team buckles down and starts catching these passes, I can't see their offense moving any further than they've already been this season, even though they're more talented than they show. But as long as they drop passes, this is going to keep happening.
Chris on 4 rush runs, but it's tagged by Welch for a short game. Dutchmen can't get any closer, they have to punt. And that is a great thing. Welch, like you said earlier, can stay with Chris. Welch makes another great play, shutting down that drive, and a Dutchman's letting him have the punt. That's a great play by Welch.
And that is the key, to keep Chris honest, to keep him from running back and forth, because a lot of times his feet is able to bail him out when he's not able to make a pass. You take that away from him, you force him to drive down the field, take away the deep ball, and Chris has a harder job to deal with on the field, and they're able to stop them here again.
Second down, Ramsey going to scramble on 4 rush. Throws deep to Welch, wide open in the gap, who runs it to the 1-yard line. Ref said he never crossed the line, so it stays at the 1. What do you think?
It looks right here that he stops.
Yeah.
All the guys is telling him, to keep going. He stops right here, and the ref said that he never passed the line, and because of that, when they tag him, they say that he's placed on the 1. I don't think that it's a big deal. They got outraged. They said, hey, we already scored. You're supposed to know that I scored or whatever. But if the ref does not blow that whistle, the play is still live. Every player should know that. But I don't think it hurts them that much because they're right there at the 1-yard line.
Well, first and goal, Ramsey finds Naheem in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Meese gets the extra point, 13-7, and they do score. But I don't understand, what is he doing? What's the point of standing there? There was no whistle blown. And I mean, this could have really hurt his team. Luckily, they scored in the next play, so we're not really talking about it. Ramsey comes back to Naheem for the touchdown. Naheem dropped the pass early in the game, and that is a great play by the quarterback, showing confidence in the receiver, coming back to him for the touchdown. Chris on third gets the ball. On third down, he's going to scramble, throw the receiver on the sideline for a short gain, picking up the first down. Second down, Chris on 4 rush gets sacked by Welch. Third down, Chris gets blitzed and is sacked by Ferrari. Dutchman after the punt, and Welch has Chris on lockdown. He gets the sack because Chris cannot outrun him. Welch is able to track him down. Next play, Ferrari blitzes, and they end up getting the sack. That is a great stop by the Shockers.
And I think that switch at the ball give is what changed the whole momentum in the game.
Agree.
Because a lot of times, like I said in the last drive, Chris has a habit of bailing himself out with his feet. But because Welch is there to keep up with him and keep him honest in the pocket, keep him from getting yardage with his feet, that's why they're able to pressure him with the blitz, and they're able to get 2 sacks in this drive to stagnate this drive here.
Ramsey throws on the sideline. It's almost picked off by Nook. Then Ramsey on second down throws to Chris in the gap, who runs for a decent gain. Last down on 4 rush, Cuba just misses the sack. Ramsey throws deep to Welch, wide open in the gap for a huge gain, picking up first down. That is a great play by Ramsey. He also has the ability to stretch the field and does it right here. Third and goal, Ramsey goes to throw the ball. The ball's going to fall backwards as he's trying to make a play. And, I mean, listen, incomplete. Last down, Ramsey scrambles on 4 rush, rolls left, throws a Meese in the front of the end zone, caught, but Ramsey steps over the line before the throw, turnover on downs. What you say about that play?
Besides Adi, Ramsey's another quarterback that has a habit of crossing the line. He's another one that gets flagged a lot for crossing the line in his throw because he doesn't know exactly what position he is when he's throwing. He has a habit of stepping over as he throws. He takes a step before he makes his throws. Because he steps in, he often passes the line. That's unfortunate because that would have been a touchdown, as you saw me cut that.
Dutchmen with a few short passes, and then they tend to punt. They were just trying to kill the clock. That's a smart drive by Dutchmen. Remember, it's 13-7. Second down with a few seconds left. Ramsey throws it deep, picked off by Frank. End of the game. Dutchmen come away with the win, 13-7, and they beat Shockers.
That is super unfortunate. That is real unfortunate for the Shockers because this could have ended so much different if Ramsey didn't do what he usually does. He has a habit of stepping into his throws, and because of that, that's when he steps over the line. Right here, if you look at this play, he's just about to step over, thinking that he's going to run, then he steps back. But then right when he makes a throw, that's when he steps over, he gets flagged, and they turn over the ball there. That was a game that could have been a winning touchdown, turns into a game-ending turnover for the Shockers. That's unfortunate, but that's the way they end their season, their regular season, with a loss.
And Dutchman shows the ability to make plays. But we saw some signs of weakness. If you get a guy that can stay with Chris, you neutralize his running game. It makes it harder for him to score. But you have to have your number one defender lock up on their receiver, Chris. Chris has beaten everybody that's attempted to guard him. He may not have the touchdown numbers, but he definitely, if we kept yards, he would be one of the have top yards in this league because the guy stretches the field. Definitely shows the ability. Last year we did not see nothing like this, and this guy has been playing great. Definitely going to be an all-star. Mm-hmm. And now that he has a quarterback that can get him the ball, he's having a good season. Dutchmen have to find another playmaker. I think it should be Nook, but Nook sometimes get caught for cursing. He gets a little frustrated. If he can keep it calm and relax, Nook could be the next guy because I don't think it's going to be Frank because Frank and Chris do not have a good connection. So Chris likes throwing to Chris. They have to get another punch, a number 2 punch, because if not, in the playoffs, the field gets smaller, and you can't just lock it on one receiver.
The thing about it is I don't see Frank doing anything on offense that much because Frank did not make the All-Star game for offense. He's mainly known as a defensive player.
Correct.
So I feel like he's better off focusing on defense. Somebody else got to step up on this team. They have a couple of guys that I'm not going to say that they're capable of being dominant, but they're players that, can go out and make some plays. You have Steve, you have Brian, you have Nick, you have Nook, you have all of these guys that can step up and make something happen. They haven't done it. They have Mike as well. All of these guys got to find a way to step up and take up the slack for Chris because eventually if they have somebody that can finally lock up on them and they keep Chris in the quarterback in the pocket, that's when you have problems. That's something that they have to figure out in the playoffs, though, but they come ahead with a win here.
And we're going to end this game, Dutchmen beating the Shockers. We're going to end this game, Dutchmen beating the Shockers 13-7. We're going to be right back. Next game up, you're going to have a rematch of a chip a few years back. Violators versus YMM. Now, when it wasn't just the Violators. It was Violators, Never Scared, and Rep City, and VR. But this was a younger YMM team, not the same team that they are now. So YMM want to show Violators a little bit of what they got to muster up now.
Obviously, both teams have changed a lot over these past few years. Violators becoming a smaller segment of their team, but a team that you have to take seriously just as much. One thing that hasn't changed, their team is very physical and they're very defensive oriented. That's one thing that the Violators can hang their hat on. They have one of the best defenses in the league. That's something that YMM, I'm sure, has to pay attention to. But YMM have made a lot of improvements. They have a lot of other playmakers on this team that they didn't have before. They have a much better quarterback in Corey, a much smarter quarterback in Corey that can manage the game a lot better. And because of that, they're a team that has been winning in other leagues, and they're a team that's looking to compete in this league. They've been one of the top teams in the league so far this season. So there's a team that the Violators have to take seriously. They're finally able to face off the season. Who can come up on top?
Violators are going to have Violators are going to have Garrett start. Yomi's hurt. He has surgery. We've seen him try with Los last week. They didn't really like it. And now they're having, I think, Coney Island veteran Garrett throwing. And we're going to have to see what happens with this team with him throwing this week. Second down, Garrett throws a Dev in the gap for a decent game, picking up the first down. Garrett then throws the route in the gap again for a decent gain. Second down, Garrett is blitzed and sacked by Brown. As a cue, sacked by Brown. You see him stretching out, sacrificing his body, coming with a great sack. Third down, Garrett throws a Dev in the gap, knocked away by Josh. Violators have to punt. That is a great stop by YMM. They're undermanned, missing several players, but that is a great way to stop the Violators in their track.
And this is why I'm stepping up on the first defensive stand that they have, showing that regardless of what quarterback they face, they're going to lock up on defense, and they're not going to make his job easy, and they make a good stop here.
YMM gets the ball. Corey gets blitzed by Rob. Throws to ice, is high, tipped, and picked off by Ralph. Violators get the ball right back, and Ralph has been a great signing by this Violators team. He's been doing it offensively, he's been doing it defensively, and this time he gets Violators the ball right back. Second and goal. Garrett finds Macho in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0. That is a great play. Macho can play a little bit of offense, showing the ability to find the end zone. This one, 6-0. Violators.
I mean, yeah, he could play a little bit of offense because he was just only their MVP a couple of seasons ago, leading their team in touchdowns and receptions. But yeah, he could play a little bit of offense. But the thing about it is, I think that you got to put the defense as the ones that gave them the ability to score, because that great play, that great blitz is the way that they got the ball back and puts them in great position to score.
Corey gets the ball. He throws to Brandon wide open on the sideline for a nice gain, picking up the first down. Corey then on 4 rush runs for a decent gain. Then next play, a quick pass to Thomas gets him to the 10-yard line. Last down, Corey throws to Brandon in the back of the end zone, incomplete. Turnover on downs. They got stopped again. And, you know, Corey doesn't look like his normal accurate self. He threw one play earlier high that got picked off. This one wasn't the best throw. Turnover on downs. Great stop by Violators, who have a very shifty defense. Great making a stop there.
And if Corey doesn't look his best against a team like this, then he's going to struggle. That's exactly what it is. When you have one of the best defenses in the league of the Violators, you got to play at your best. Corey's not, and because of that, they're struggling to score yet again.
Garrett throws to Normal, cutting in the middle for a nice gain, picking up the first down. Second down, Garrett throws deep to Mach, overthrown, incomplete. Third down, Garrett throws deep to Ralph, cutting in the middle, picks up a nice gain. Last down, Garrett throws to Mach in the front of the end zone, picked off by Brandon. With nice blocks from Javon, Brandon runs it all the way downfield for the touchdown. Kaka gets the extra point, 6-7. YMM jumps back in the game. They take the lead.
And Brandon, not only is their lights-out offensive player this season, now he's showing plays where he can be a lockdown defender. He comes here. You would think that this is an easy routine pass. Brandon comes and changes that thought with this great pick. He comes and snatches it, runs down the sideline. This great block here by Javon, even though he's not necessarily producing that much in stats-wise, he makes a big play here with this block, give Brandon the free run all the way to the end zone. Great defensive play for the score.
First down, Garrett pumps fakes, Brandon steps up, Garrett throws deep to Dev, wide open on the sideline, runs it in for the touchdown. Javon gets the sack, 12-7. And I like the way Garrett got Brandon on this one. Brandon just picked him off for a run back. So Garrett knew that Brandon is hungry for another pick. He catches him with the pump, and Dev gets open downfield and runs this in for a touchdown after the good throw. Dev has been a great player. The thing about it is he plays with the youth, so they got weapons in front of him. You got guys like Swiss, you got guys like Shannon, you got guys like Akon, you got guys like Buck in front of Dev. But once Dev is having the opportunity to show what he could do, he's doing it offensively, and besides Ralph, he's been their second best weapon on offense. Great play by him.
Listen, and I'm going to use this analogy here. Since you've been talking about the whole uncle thing or whatever.
What uncle told you?
Listen, when you feed a starving dog meat, you can lead that dog anywhere. If it's starving, you feed it once, you can lead it anywhere. And this is something that everybody knows in practice. If you have a pet, you give a starving dog food, the next piece of meat, it'll follow you anywhere you go to get that meat. And that's exactly what happens. Pause on the whole meat thing, but it's an
I'm
analogy.
not talking about that.
But the reason why I'm using that is because look at this play here. Brandon, like you said, and you mentioned it just now, Brandon was hungry for a pick. He just got one, so he's going to be baited by this pump fake here. You see Brandon steps all the way up, looking for that second piece of meat, that second bite. He comes all the way up, leaves Devin for the free release, wide open downfield. If Brandon doesn't step up on his pump, I don't see this pass happening. Because he just got that pick, Garrett, as the veteran he is, uses that to bait Brandon to stepping up. Great decision, great throw by him, finding Devin downfield for the touchdown.
Corey with 2 passes to Brandon for a nice gain. Last play before half, Corey throws it up, incomplete, taking us into the half. 12-7, Violators with the lead.
And before we get into the teams, I think my analogy was pretty good. I think that it made sense. The whole thing with the starving dog or whatever, it makes sense. If you have a dog, you know that that's the truth. You can front all you want. Obviously, none of us are pet owners, but still. Actually, you did have a dog for a time. So you should know somewhat how a starving dog acts. So, again, don't act like this is brand new to you.
You didn't get that from my uncle.
There is no uncle.
He would have said a better saying than that. If I'm YMM, I need Corey to get back on the lights out, Corey. I need Corey to get back to the professor. This is not the professor. Now, I know his weapons haven't really been here, but Corey has to be on a level that you can say all he needs is guys on the field, and they can win. Last week, they lost 6-0 to IOD. He has to be able to put up points. Now, he scored because Brandon, but it's because Brandon ran back a pick.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't score in the first half. We need Corey to step it up and show the ability to be the professor like we all know.
And Violators, at this half, they scored the same amount of touchdowns that they are supposed to average. The same amount of touchdowns that Yomi averages, about 2 touchdowns, and then the defense locks up. Now this is the opportunity for the defense to really lock up. Right now, they only gave up 7 points from a pick that the offense gave up, so the defense technically didn't give up any points this game.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, as long as they lock up, I think that they have the opportunity to put this game away the way it looks right now.
Corey on second down, throws deep to Javon, open on the sideline, overthrow, incomplete pass. After getting the first down, Corey throws Ruben on the sideline for a decent gain. Then Corey finds Brandon wide open on the sideline for a nice gain, getting him to the 5-yard line. 4th and goal, Corey finds Brandon in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Ice gets the extra point. It is 14-12. YMM takes the lead.
And this is what they needed in the first half. They finally get that spark in the second half. They're able to drive down the field and score. They need to keep this up because they're back in this game. I don't see how many more opportunities Violators are going to give them. So they got to get in rhythm and stay in rhythm throughout the rest of the game.
And Brandon has been their best weapon. That's his 8th touch.
Yes.
He has to be up there for Offensive Player of the Year. Rico has not really been here. Santana has not really been here. Jeremy has not really been here. Brandon, week in, week out, several games, he's played not only tough, he actually carried them one game when he was the only one who scored. He has been their best offensive weapon. And if that guy does not get a nominee for at least Offensive Player of the Year, somebody needs to get fired. We're going to jump. Violators get the ball. Garrett throws deep to Ralph on the sideline. Corey gets a hand in it, incomplete. Corey prevents Ralph's catch, and that's quarterback Corey playing safety. Great play by him. Garrett throws Samach in the middle for a nice gain, getting the first down. Second down, 4 rush. Garrett throws a Dev in the gap, off target, incomplete. Third down, Garrett throws a Dev on the sideline, knocked away by Brown. Violators have to punt. The question is, was this pass interference by Josh? Yeah, I think it's bang, bang. Once you slow it down on the camera, it's easy to see.
Yeah.
But in regular motion, with the ref's discretion, I would not have thrown that flag because it's so quick. He may have got there a half a second early, but that is on camera. Dev is upset. Dev is like Shaq. He gets beat up. Because of his size, he's going to get beat up. And a few calls he's not going to get. I think once the playoffs come and there's more officials, they'll be able to see a little more things. Maybe these are calls that he'll get. I think that was too bang bang for them to throw a flag. YMM is going to get the ball, but they're not able to do anything. They'll end up having a punt. First down, Garrett throws a match. The pass is blocked by Javon, incomplete. Second down, Jarrett throws deep to Ralph, who's guarded by Ice, picked off by Ice, but he's flagged for pass interference, getting him to the 25-yard line. What do you think about this play?
Yes, I think that there was too much contact with the ball in the air. He actually cuts off the receiver's lane of running lane, and that's something that the defender is not allowed to do. Because he makes that contact, he definitely gets the pass interference.
That is a clear pass interference.
Yeah.
And Ice went crazy. He was like, why should I get it? That's not a flag. And you're going to see on tape, he is interfering with the receiver making a play on the ball. It's bottom line. You cannot have this much contact and not expect a flag. And, Ice is one of the guys that says he doesn't look for flags. He's not a guy that complains. This one, he's 120% wrong. He looked for a flag that he looked to not get a flag. That was a clear flag, and they got bailed out the first time with a flag. This one, they got caught. Great call by official. Last down, Garrett throws it up in the air. Hit by Josh, incomplete, turnover on downs. They get away with the pass interference because Garrett is not able to move the ball any further. He throws it up, incomplete, turnover on downs. Great stop by Wyman.
And they weren't even able to capitalize on that They weren't even able to capitalize on that pass interference call. I would think that after they get the pass interference, after they get the yardage, they'll be able to drive down the field in the next couple of plays. I think they had 2. I think that was 3rd down, but they weren't able to make anything happen before 4th. They forced to throw it up, and Josh punishes Garrett on that last throw, and it's incomplete. That's an unfortunate way to end your drive.
After 2 passes for a short gain, Corey on 3rd down throws deep to Brandon on the sideline, knocked away by Macho. YMM has to punt. 3rd down after 2 short passes, Garrett throws deep to Dev on the sideline, caught in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Ice picks off the extra point, so it's 18-14, but Dev with the touchdown catch. If you look here, Josh get beat on the sideline. Garrett finds Dev. Dev makes a great catch.
And this is Dev coming in and yet again for this team. He's been one of their biggest offensive weapons this year, finding ways to go downfield, cutting the gaps. And right here, he beats Josh on the sideline. Josh sleeps on Dev, and because of that, he gets beat. When you don't pay attention to this guy who's been killing all season, this is what happens to you, and they're able to score yet again in this game.
Corey throws a Kaka in the gap. Kaka's not looking, incomplete pass. Then Corey throws a Brown in the middle who runs for a huge gain in the 1st down. Brown is a defensive player, but sometimes when he get his opportunity on offense, he makes plays. That is a great play by Brown to get him to the 1st down. Corey throws a Brown again in the gap with seconds left, taking this into last down. 18-14. We're at the 5-yard line. Last play. Corey's going to drop. He's going to look. If you see here, if I'm right, Brandon cuts to the right. Going to the right side of the end zone. Javon has a step. Going to the left. Javon, the guy they picked up in the offseason. The guy who's a number 2 guy in 99 problems. That went to the chip. Signed with YMM. YMM got him to make these big plays to be the number 3 guy behind Bones. Bones hasn't been here. He's on the exempt. Behind Tim. Tim actually left the team, so you expect Javon to make these plays. They come to Javon. The ball is dropped. In and out of his hands. Would have ended the game. Violators come away with the win. 18-14.
What else is there to say besides that pass was dropped? That was the game in his hands, and he dropped it. This is what happens when you don't commit to a team that you join. He hasn't been here all season. He missed a lot of games this season, and because he doesn't have that connection with this team since he hasn't been here, an easy pass I'm not going to say easy, but a routine pass like this that you should catch, he drops. That's what they have you here for, and you can't even do that. So what are you here for if you can't make plays like that? That's a question only Javon can answer.
He was their big pickup in the offseason. Bishop was also a pickup, but he wasn't their big pickup. Bishop played better than Javon this season. Bishop is a bigger acquisition than Javon this season in the UFL league. I've said that Javon would not have a big season. You said that Lou from ILD would not have a big season. I think Lou have given ILD more than Javon has given to Wyman. He's not a number 1 receiver. Bottom line, let's call a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. I think he has talent, but I think he's too 50-50. That's what he is. Half of the time he's going to make the catch, half of the time he's going to drop the ball. And this one was a game-winning drop. That's why you need guys like Tim. Tim is gone. But you need guys like Bones. You need guys like Slutty. We've seen Bones make game-winning catches. We've seen Slutty win YMM championship at EHS making catches. This guy is not on their level. As far as height, of course I got Jeremy, I got Rico, but I'm talking about height-wise.
Yeah.
He is not on the same level, and I think this team is in trouble because when it comes to money time and they need him to be the guy that towers over people, he's not consistent enough.
And what can you say about the Violators coming away with this win? They were able to keep YMM to 1 touchdown on defense.
Yep.
Obviously, the other touchdown does not count because that was a pick run back. But this defense did exactly what they did all season. They kept their team to 1 touchdown. They scored 2. They win the game. That's exactly their motto. That's exactly the way they played. And that's exactly how they won this game. That's them just playing routine Violators football. And that is the way they end this game.
And we're going to look at their games. They beat the Dutchmen 8-6. They beat Carver 8-7. So this team is capable of winning low-scoring games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they beat Spartans 13-zip. They beat Shockers 14-7. They lost to Super Friends 13-7. They lost to Never Scared 13-12. They beat YMM 18-14. And they beat Wolverines 20-6. 20 was the most points they scored this season. They're going to keep the game close. That's what they do.
Listen, and this is the craziest stat that you can bring up for the Violators. If the opposing team scores twice, they lose.
And I'm going to look. The games that they've lost, the opposing team scored 2 touchdowns.
And that's the thing. You scored twice, and that's them giving away the game.
Wow.
That's a crazy stat. That's a scary stat when you talk about this Violators team. Their defense means business. They are no joke, and that is a stat that you give to the best defense in the league.
Yep.
And the Violators are playing like the best defense in the league. We can't finalize all the stats yet because everybody hasn't played yet.
Right.
But they're looking like the best defense in the league.
Oh, they're the best
right
defense.
now.
We're gonna play
Listen,
them.
I'm trying to be fair and give other teams a
They're
shot.
the best. We've
but
seen
yes,
all the teams play. They're the best defense.
best defense in the league.
And I'm talking about his physicality. It's led by Sean. Sean looking like the old Sean. You know, height, knocking down passes. I think Rob has been a great player. He's not only showing, we know he's a blitzer, he's a physical guy, but he shows the ability to go into coverage and make some plays. Defensively, Butho's been their muscle. He's been their bully. He's been making great plays, but Devin Ralph has been great defensively also.
Yes.
So you put all these guys together, and that is a formidable defense, and you put in the former MVP, Mach, in the middle of that, and you're going to have a great defense like you have this year.
And that's exactly what's been happening for them.
All right, we're going to wrap this one up. They come away with the win, 18-14 over YMM. We're going to be right back. Next game up, Violators versus Dem Gettas. And we just talk about Violators. They have won every game that they have kept their opponent under 2 touchdowns. When they in single digits. Every single time they left the team on single digits, they have won. That is a great defense. This game might be different. They're playing the best offense in the league in Dem Gettas.
And that is an exciting thing to hear. The best defense facing off against the best offense. We finally get to see which team gets to be on top. Is the best defense going to beat the best offense or vice versa?
Let me give you some of these offensive scores from Dem Gettas. 21-15, 25-8, 31-6, 27-19, 18-9, 31-14. This team scores points. I mean, they lost the games to the Browns 14-8. Moses took the devastating injury. Dre got hurt. Juice got hurt. So obviously, but that is where they basically scored way more than their opponents.
And think about this. And this is another scary stat about their offense. Every single game where they score 3 touchdowns or more, they win the game.
Yep.
So if they score 3 touchdowns, it's all she wrote. That's it. It's game over. So their offense, when they score 3 touchdowns, they win almost every single time.
Yep.
And then you have the Violators defense that if they keep the opposing team to 1 score, they win.
And they've played, don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people thinking they beat Never Scared 21-15. Never Scared is a pretty good team. They beat the defending champs 25-8. I don't care who was there. You know what I mean? I don't care who was throwing. At the end of the stage, you still scored 25 points. They beat Carver 27-19. They beat the Wolverines 31-6. And the Wolverines had a close game versus Carver early in the season. So this team can score points, and they put 31 on Dutchmen. I don't care what type of team it is. It's hard to score in the 30s in this league, and they have done it twice. It's hard to score in the 20s. They have scored 20 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. They scored 20 points 5 times this year Over 20. 5 times.
And the thing about that, the crazy thing is, the average that most teams are able to score is about 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. And they do it like it's nothing.
Yep.
That's so impressive to know that the best offense is showing why they're considered the best offense. They know how to score.
And they lost Moses, though. Moses gone for the year. Moses scored 7 touchdowns this season. That is huge.
He actually tied the most the touchdown amount he had
In his MVP
season
when
years
the league
ago.
was in Brooklyn.
Yes.
So we're going to have to see what this team does without him. Dre would not play this game either. A guy who I think should be up there for MVP. You know what I mean? Definitely dominating on both sides of the ball. And if he's not an MVP candidate, I don't know what is. He carries his team both ways. And definitely he got to be an MVP candidate. Reggie has been up there for quarterback of the year. Definitely scoring on will. Obviously, when you see that many points, should be up there for offensive player of the year. And Hollywood put it all together, going out and getting Arberly, going out and getting Juice, going out and getting Moses. He should be up there for coach captain of the year. I know he's coming off of winning the comeback, the most improved player, the Kenesha Carroll Price Award. But I think he should be up there for coach/captain of the year.
Yes, because putting a team like this together says a lot about your leadership and who you draw into your team. So they have a great team, and it's all thanks to his efforts putting them together.
We're going to jump right into the game. Garrett with 2 passes for a decent game, getting them near the 50. After a short pass on the first down, Garrett throws a no more, cutting in the middle for a nice gain. 3rd down, Garrett with blocker from Speedy, throws a Dev in the back of the end zone. Short, incomplete, Violators have to punt. You have to make that throw. We've seen Dev kill people all season with that play. You got to make that throw, and Garrett doesn't, and Violators have to punt. Dem Gettas is not able to do nothing their first possession. They have to punt. Garrett gets the ball. He throws a no more, cutting in the middle. High, picked off by Juice, giving it back to Gettas. And Juice has been a great weapon for this team. He's come in this league. He's made an impact his first year. He's a great player.
And he returns from an injury that he had last game, and it looks like he hasn't lost a step. He recovers from his injury. He's playing big, knowing that his other teammate Dre is out. Dre is out. Moses is out. So now he has to step up as a playmaker in this game and hold it down for his team.
Reggie throws the Juice in the middle for a nice game. 2nd down, Reggie throws with Rubio on the sideline for a decent game, taking him to the 50-yard line. After a short pass for the 1st down, Reggie gets sacked by Sean. 3rd down, Reggie throws deep to Rubio in the middle, knocked away by Ralph. Gettas have to punt. The huge play, I think, is Sean with the sack. Reggie's not going to run. Can't run to save it. Reggie, I've seen statues run faster than Reggie. So Reggie's not going to run. So if you can keep Reggie up to 4 rush with his account and you bring in the rusher, Reggie's a lot of times going to take a sack. That is a big sack. Ralph defensively making a big play, forcing Gettas out the punt.
But listen, at the end of the day, I would rather Reggie take a sack than to force a pass. We've seen him do it before. We've seen him do it in the championship game against Carver that got them to turn over the ball multiple times. So when Reggie forces passes like that, bad things happen. So he takes a sack. They don't get the first. They don't get this drive here. This is the 2nd drive that they have to punt. But I think that they still have to time to gel. It's just not happening this early in the game.
1st down, Garrett on 4 rushes, sacked by Peter. 3rd down, Garrett is blitzed by Hollywood. Throws a Buto on the sideline, drop. Violators have to punt. And Buto has played great in the beginning of the season. And once we hit the midway, he started dropping. Not been his impact play as he started out as. He was a definite all-star in the beginning. Now, I don't really think he's going to be on the team. We're going to have to see how the league does it. But he definitely made a big drop-off. That's a big drop. Violators going to have to punt.
The thing about it is, I never seen him being an all-star offense anyway.
Right.
I've seen him make most of his plays on defense, pressuring the quarterback, being very physical in the middle. So I don't expect him to do this. This is not what I've seen him being known for. He had a glimpse of defensive skill when he played with Main Event last year. He's showing a lot more of that in Violators, but I don't expect him to make big plays on offense. So he drops his play. I'm not shocked at all. Unfortunately, that's a turnover.
1st down, Reggie gets blitzed and sacked by Dev. 2nd down, Reggie throws to Dylan in the gap, almost picked off by Rob. Reggie throws the lows in the middle, nice game, picking up a 1st down. 2nd and goal, after a short pass, Reggie throws a Juice in the corner end zone, knocked away by Ralph. Last down, Reggie finds Rubio cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Rob is going to get the interception, extra point, but it's 6-zip. And if you look here, Rob leaves the corner, leaving Rubio open, and Reggie finds it.
They're able to drive down the field. That's the way to get into scoring position here. But right here, this probably would have made a big difference if Rob stays on the corner. Because he decides to lock up on man, he leaves that corner there. He leaves that whole section of the field open. Rubio slides right in, and Reggie throws that easy pass. This is a fundamental defensive mistake that Violators make, and I'm not used to them seeing them make the mistake. Unfortunately, that's why Dem Gettas score.
Garrett throws it no more, cutting in the gap for a decent game, picking up the first down. Last play before half, Garrett throws it up incomplete, taking us into the half, 6-0. Listen, if I'm Gettas, this is a tough defense. This is the best defense we played against this year. It's 6-0. We'll take it. You know what I mean? They have a very formidable defense. We have to learn who to attack and how to attack them. So if I'm up 6-zip, I'm not too panicked, but we got to find somebody to pick on, especially if we don't got Moses or Dre. Somebody else needs to step up on our offense to make some plays.
And right now, we're down 6 points. We can't allow them to score anymore. We got to lock up our defense. We know that they're going to lock up some way, shape, or form. They're going to slow this offensive team down. But I can't see how much this team will be able to hold them. So they got to find ways to score. They got to put up points early in the second half. Otherwise, they're putting themselves at risk for Dem Gettas to finally break away through their defense.
Reggie's going to throw to Rubio in the middle, who runs for a nice gain. Then Reggie on second down throws a Los in the gap for a decent gain. Last down, Reggie with blocker from Los, throws a Dylan in the back of the end zone, tipped by Buthu, picked off by Rob, giving it back to Violators. And you talked about Buthu making plays defensively. He just did that, making a tip, and Rob coming away with the pick. Great play by both players, giving the ball to Violators.
And this is what happens. This is what Buthu focuses on, making plays here. Instead of pressuring the quarterback, he's able to make a tip here and give Rob the opportunity to get an interception. I believe this is Rob's second interception in the game. The Violators defense playing the way that they should, forcing turnovers, getting interceptions. They all join in this game and put in an effort to score now.
Violators are not able to do nothing on the next drive. They end up punting. Second down, Reggie's blitzed by Dev, throws a Peter in the gap for a decent gain. Third down, Reggie throws a Los from the sideline to get them to the 20-yard line. Last down, Reggie throws a Rubio in the corner, picked off by Rob, who runs it all the way to the other 45-yard line. Great play by Rob, great defense by Violators, another stop on Reggie.
And the crazy thing is, the person who gave Dem Gettas their only score so far this game was Rob when he left the corner. But he makes up for that mistake with yet his third interception of this game. Rob is playing lights out on defense, playing as hard as he can. Everybody else is stepping up, pressuring the quarterback. They got to find a way to score because, again, the defense is playing great, but I don't see how long they can hold.
Garrett throws to Dev in the gap. Dev makes a diving catch for a nice game. Great play by Dev. He's been having a great year. That's a great catch. Third down, Garrett on 4 rush, throws the normal in the gap, low, incomplete. Last down, Garrett throws it up, tipped by Chris, picked off by Juice. Nice block here by Hollywood. Juice runs it all the way back to the end zone for the touchdown. 12-0 Gettas, and this is Garrett's second pick six he threw in 2 games. I know they sat down and they was going to Garrett over Los because Yomi's hurt, but Garrett throws too many pick sixes. You can't throw 2 in 2 games. That's too much, especially when a defense that don't give up points, you're helping the other team score. That is a great play by them.
And that is unfortunate because, again, this was meant to be a toss-up play. Usually these are pass sessions incomplete or whatever, but all you did was you give them the opportunity.
That got to go in the back of the end zone,
yes.
Not where he put it.
And that's the thing. You gave them the opportunity to tip it to themselves. Juice is too fast for you to give them the ball at that position. Nobody's catching them. And then Hollywood makes a great block here. But again, regardless of what, I didn't see nobody catching Juice regardless. So all you did was you did them a favor by giving them yet another touchdown that they didn't really earn on offense this time.
Garrett gets the ball. He gets blitzed and sacked by Hollywood. Second down, Garrett with a pass is blocked by Peter. Had to give a great play by Peter. Last down, Garrett throws the light wide open in the middle for a nice game, picking up the first down. We didn't really hear a lot from Light this season, but that's a great play by him to get the first down. Garrett then throws deep to Ralph, one-on-one with Rubio. Ralph is going to jump over, tower over Rubio, make the catch in the end zone, 12-6, and you got to say it, you got most. Great play by Ralph. Rubio had no shot at that, and now he's a part of Ralph's highlights.
That's unfair. That's disrespectful. That's just, I don't know. That's just, there's nothing good about that. Listen, I'm not mad at him for making that throw. That's an obvious throw. I would make that throw in my sleep if I see that happen. The thing about it is, I like that Rubio gave effort, but he had no chance. It's funny. It's entertaining to see Rubio make that try.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna give him, E for effort, but E's do not equal A's.
Bro.
So again, he tried. Doesn't matter. He got bossed. He got put on a highlight reel, and Ralph yet makes another big play for this Violators team.
Reggie gets the ball. Violators have to stop the first down. Reggie gets sacked by Sean here, back to back, trying to kill the clock. Third down. Reggie finds Rubio on the sideline, who's going to make a great play to dodge Buto, dodge Rob, get the first down, ending the game. Gettas come away with the win, 12-6, and they lock up the number 1 seed.
And this is a first, the way this game ended, on both sides. This is a first game. Well, no, this is a first for Dem Gettas. This is the first game that they won, only scoring twice.
Yes, the last game they lost, the only loss they got this season is to the Browns 14-8.
Yes.
That's the lowest they've scored, and they lost.
Yes.
Still single digits, though. They have not lost any time they've scored double digits.
Yes, but the thing about it, the reason why I'm saying this is a first is because every single win that they had was over 20 points, or at least over 3 touchdowns.
This is the first time they scored less than
2 touchdowns.
Less than 18 points.
Yes.
Less than 3 touchdowns and won. Correct.
Yeah, and they won. The Violators, they gave up 6 points.
Yep.
In this game. So the defense, they did their job.
Yep.
Unfortunately for the offense, not only did they not do their job, but they gave the opposing team points. So their offense failed them in this game.
Their offense gave up, in 2 games, their offense gave away 12 points.
Yes, and that is a failure in my opinion on the point of the offense.
Yep.
They brought Garrett here to fill in the gap for Yomi in this game.
I didn't see anything great.
I
seen a lot of toss-up plays.
Yes.
Other than the pump and go that he got on Brandon.
Yes.
I didn't see anything great other than throw up balls, go get it, which Dev and
the funny
Ralph
thing
did.
is, that came the play to that caught Brandon. That was after he gave away a pick six to Brandon. So again, that's still to me a failure.
So the best play he made was when he hit Macho for the touchdown in the first game.
And the thing about it is, what was the difference between using him and using Los? I don't see a real difference.
I don't either.
I think that I would have been better off just having Los the way he played. The way he played to me was satisfactory.
And he killed the
He did
clock.
his job. And like you said, he killed the clock, kept the other team off the field.
He doesn't try for too many big plays, which is what Garrett likes to do, which is the reason why he threw 2 pick sixes.
Yes. So again, you go with the conservative quarterback over the quarterback that takes risks.
Yep.
Los is that quarterback. Obviously, we're not the coach. We're not the decision maker, but that's just our opinion. I think that Los was a safer quarterback for this game. I don't want a quarterback that takes too many risks, especially against a team that normally outscores every team that they face. And Dem Gettas and YMM, a team that's very unpredictable, that's been playing very well this season all throughout. So I don't want to take that chance, but they do. And because of that, they end up splitting the day. They end up losing to Dem Gettas 12-6 because their offense couldn't produce the way that they needed to.
Garrett came in, went 1-1. He threw 4 touchdowns, but he threw 4 interceptions in 2 games. Los, the 1 game he did throw, he threw 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But Garrett threw 2 pick sixes. That's not on this stat, but he gave away. He scored. And that's terrible against a defense that does not give up points. So you have a decision to make, Listen, you live and die in this defense. This is one of the greatest defenses I've ever seen. The stat alone that you gave was amazing. This defense has an opportunity to shut down some of the best offensive in the league. They're stacked all around defensively. They're stacked at safeties. They got 2 good corners. They got a good middle linebacker. They got a good ball giver. They have a great defense. don't worry about shooting out. Take the page out of Casey's book. Kill a clock.
Casey of 99.
Yes. Yeah. Take sheet out of his book. Kill a clock. Score. Once, twice, you win the game. Mm-hmm. Dem Gettas, this was the second lowest game they scored. And I'm not going to say the second because they ran back a pick 6. So I'm not going to count that for their offense. This matches their team low, which is they lost to the Browns. This team, it's hard for them to win without scoring. They're the best offense in the league. But this is their first game back without Moses. Their first game back without Dre. This team needs one of them. Now, they'll have Cruz. We already know Cruz is on another level when he's playing. Mm-hmm. So they have other guys that can step up for Moses. But this team needs to get it back in tune. Mm-hmm. They have to really show that they're capable of taking the momentum. They lock up the number 1 seed, which is what they wanted. Yeah. And we're going to have to see how it goes in the playoffs. We're going to wrap this game up. Gettas come away with a win, 12-6 over Violators. We're going to be right back. Next game up, Never Scared versus Dutchmen. Fred has been playing good this season, you know. The defense have not been great, but Fred been playing well. Their guy Sean, lights out. Definitely should be up there for most improved player. Possibly MVP. I don't know if he can have an opportunity to really win that. It's possible. Depending on how we do this game. He should be nominated, I think.
Yeah, but he's also going to be a candidate for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He's definitely on that list because he has been lights out on offense. He has been this team's go-to receiver from the first game this season. Fred is connected with this guy. He leads his team in touchdowns. He's been the main scorer in this team. He's been Fred's main weapon from the first week of the season all the way up until this point. He's been their go-to guy. He's been a person helping him move the ball downfield. And he's a person I don't believe this offense can survive without at this point.
Sean has 7 touchdowns, 1 extra point, and he has 4 interceptions for this team. So he should be up there for MVP.
Yes.
Should be up there for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. So. I mean, this guy, definite all-star, doing it on both sides of the field. 4 interceptions is not too shabby. It's not something that you can sleep on. That's good defense right there. But 7 touchdowns, that's saying something. For the only person that has more touchdowns than him this season on the field playing is Brandon with 8.
Yep.
So he's right behind that, but he's been very consistent with a lot of downfield passes. The style of his offense is a little different from Brandon. Brandon's an all-around the field type, but Sean is a person that's been finding his way downfield every single time. No matter what defense he faces, he finds a way to get through it, and Fred is able to connect with him.
And Dutchmen, we talked about them earlier. Not really going to go crazy about them. We talked about them earlier. We know the things that they need to do. Got to stay consistent. Got to find a guy besides Chris because teams are going to start locking up on him. We're going to jump right into the game. Never Scared versus Dutchmen. Never Scared gets the ball back. 3rd down, near the 50. Fred on 4 rush gets sacked by Mikey. Last down, Fred scrambles with blocker from Eric. Fred throws short to Matt in the gap. Drop, turnover on downs. Drops has been creeping up on this team. They led the league in drops last year. No way they're going to be on that level this year. But drops within the last week has crept up on them. That's a big drop there by Matt. Chris with 3 passes for a decent game, getting them near the 10-yard line. 4th and goal, Chris scrambles on 4 rush. Throws a look in the back in the end zone, picked off by Fred, giving it back to Never Scared, and that's Fred the quarterback. Goes out, gets an interception, helping himself out.
And this was a pass that Chris had no other options. He forces it to Nook in the back of the end zone. Fred is standing right there, so he just gift-wrapped that ball, throws it right to Fred for the easy interception there.
Never Scared is not able to do nothing. They're going to have to punt. Giving it back to Dutchman. Chris with 2 short passes for a decent game. After getting the 1st down, Chris with 2 more passes for a nice game. If you look here, Never Scared is playing back, worrying about the deep play. Last down at the 10-yard line. Chris scrambles with blocker from Nick. Then Chris finds Nook cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. The other Chris gets the extra point. 7-0, Dutchmen take a lead.
And regardless of what defense Never Scared tries to play, this Dutchman's offense finds a way to move the ball downfield. Instead of going downfield, throwing deep, they're able to chop up the field. It seems like Never Scared dared them to chop up the field, but Chris rose up to the challenge, chops up the field, finds his receivers in the gaps, and he finds his man, his go-to guy in the end zone for the touchdown.
Fred with 3 passes for a nice game, picking up the first down while the time is running out. Last play before half, Fred throws it up incomplete, taking us into the half, 7-0. Dutchman with the lead. If I'm Dutchman, I like the way we did it. Nice pedal to the metal. We got to keep that type of momentum going. We made a little mistake throwing the interception to Fred, but we got to keep the pedal to the metal. We can score if we run.
And right now, okay, Never Scared, they weren't able to score in the first half. I'm not panicking because we held this team to only 7 points. We got to find a way to lock up and keep Chris from getting in rhythm and make sure we lock up on Chris. Force him to go to these other guys. If you force him to go to these other guys, eventually Chris is going to make mistakes. You keep him from running, keep him in the pocket. I think that we have a chance to come back in this game because I know our offense is going to click eventually, but as long as we're able to do those things on defense, we'll be just fine.
First down, Chris throws to Chris on the sideline. Chris makes a nice catch on the sideline for a nice game. Question is, was his feet inbound?
And this is a toughie here. This is a tough one here because, again, when the players get in the way of the shot, it's hard to see. It's unfortunate. These guys was asking me, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? I didn't want to admit that these guys, your own guys, got in the way. That's unfortunate, but that's the way the call goes when guys get in the way.
Second down, Chris throws to Steve in the gap for a nice gain. After a short pass, last down, Chris finds Nick cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Edwin gets flagged for cursing. He gets ejected. 13-0. And if you look here, the defense was not communicating, and Chris is able to find Nick for the touchdown.
And the thing about it is Nick was able to cut right through the back of the end zone. You see Sean here, sees him cutting, but does not communicate to somebody else that he's in the back because there's no communication. Nick is standing right here open for the touchdown. Obviously, you see, you hear Edwin get frustrated because he ends up cursing and gets ejected. Listen, I would get frustrated too. Not to say that I get ejected. I think I may have some composure, but knowing that Edwin, a person that doesn't, get called for cursing or anything like that on the sideline, he loses his cool. He gets frustrated because how can you allow that to happen just by not communicating? That gives up an easy 6 points for the Dutchman.
Fred throws to Sean in the middle for a decent gain, picking up the first down. Then Fred throws a Weege in the gap for a decent gain. 4th and goal, Fred finds Sean cutting in the end zone for the touchdown. 13-7, Matt gets extra point. 13-7, Never Scared score comes right back. Sean with his 8th touchdown of the season, definitely showing his players on offense. Great play, Fred finds.
This guy has reached unstoppable status.
Yep.
Just like Brandon, nobody's able to cover this man for too long. In almost every single game that they played, he got at least 1 touchdown. 8 games, 8 touchdowns. So he averages 1 touchdown a game. So you put this man in the game, he's going to score. So with a stat like that, he gets unstoppable status right here. This is yet another touchdown, another game that he's able to help put up for this offense.
Second down, Chris throws a Mike in the middle for a nice game, pick up the first down. Chris then throws to Chris wide open on the sideline. That one is dropped. Last down, Chris scrambles with blocking, but is still sacked by Matt. Turnover on downs. Great defensive stand by Never Scared on Dutchman, giving Never Scared back the ball.
And Never Scared, this is what they needed. They were able to score, but they needed to lock up on defense and keep Chris from connecting downfield with any receivers, any big plays. They were able to do that. Now they have opportunity to steal away this game if their offense can click even more.
13-7, Dutchman with the lead. Fred throws to Eric Short, who runs for a decent game. Second down, Fred throws to Angel on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. Fred then throws to Angel again on the sideline. Nook with contact to force the drop, incomplete. Great hit by Nook. Second down, Fred with blocking from Eric throws to Angel wide open in the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Chris gets beat on the cutting route. Great block by Eric. Will gets extra point. 14-13, they take the lead, and Nook is ejected for cursing. A lot that happened.
Yes, so much that happened on that play, but one thing I gotta say up from the top, Eric with some great blocking here. He's been doing this all season. To me, he would have been one of the candidates for block of the year for this team because he's been protecting Fred no matter who comes in. Unfortunately, he missed a couple games where he wasn't blocking for Fred, and I think that kind of scaled him back after a while, but it doesn't matter. He's here for more than just awards. He's protecting Fred here. Fred is able to connect with Angel in the back of the end zone. Angel dropped that last play with the that hook from that hit from Nook. He's able to make up for it on this play, cutting in the back of the end zone. And Chris gotta lock up better than that. You gotta see the crossing person coming and call him out on defense. You know you can't follow him, but communicate with your defense so somebody else can pick him up. That doesn't happen. That leaves Angel open here.
Dutchmen get the ball back. They started from the 10 on the touchback. First down, Chris on 4 rush with blocking, runs for a nice gain. Third down, 3rd and long on 4 rush. Matt misses the sack. Chris runs for a nice gain in the first down. Chris has the running game going. Next play, he's going to throw the Nick in the gap for a decent game. Last play of the game, throws to Frank in front of the end zone, knocked away by Eric, ending the game, never scared, comes away with the win, 14-13 over Dutchmen.
And that is unfortunate for the Dutchmen, but never scared, gets the job done. They're able to score on offense. In the second down, it seems like everything that I asked them to do in the second half, they listen. It's like they're watching, they're listening to what I say. It seems like what I say matters more than you right now, because whatever I said worked. They were able to lock up on defense in the second half. They were able to, improve their offensive drives in the second half. But the defense being able to lock up and keep Chris from getting anything going on offense is what helped them win the game. I think defense gets the game ball here.
All right. We're going to go to an interview with Never Scared. We're going to be right back.
Team behind you.
What's going on?
Team behind you, man.
Stephen J here with Never Scared team. Coming over a big win over Dutchmen, 14-13. Fred, we hear a lot of the other team people talk about Dem Gettas, Violators, Carver, Super Friends. We don't really hear Never Scared in the mix. Do y'all take that kind of personal?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Sean, lights out season.
Lights out for you. For you, lights out.
Still can't get it up. Sean, you've been having a great season this year. Big turnaround from last year. What's been the change?
It's always been like this. I just need a chance, that's all. They always know me as being the defender. I play both sides. They know what it is. I ain't got to say no more. Let the tapes do the talking.
Doesn't matter who y'all playing in the playoffs. Who would you rather play?
Don't make a difference. Whoever won it.
You're one of the top quarterbacks. But people haven't talked about you this season. You have pretty decent numbers. What has that been when anybody been caught up with other high-name quarterbacks that haven't performed as well as you this season?
It don't bother me. It don't mean nothing. It is what it is.
Did your guys prove something to you today coming through with this win after being down 2 scores?
No. We supposed to be doing this the whole season. Today is one of the games that we actually pulled it off. The whole season we playing like this. We just got to play smart, that's it.
We're going to thank Fred for being here with us. This season got a big playoff game coming up. Never Scared. Something to talk about. Talk to you later.
I feel Fred. You know what I mean? They're doing what they got to do to win games. Whatever it takes, this is what this team is doing. That is a great way to start the momentum to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Great play. Dutchmen didn't come away with the win, but they split. Way to end the season. They play decent, and everything starts over in the playoffs. So, that being said, we're going to go over some of the matchups really quick. I'm going to give you the team. You're going to give me the score, who you think going to win, and then we'll say our finals to end the game. Now, first, wild card game. Dutchmen, Wolverines number 9 versus Dutchmen number 8. Who you got winning that game? Give me a score.
I think I see the Dutchmen beating them by 2 scores.
So give me a score.
I see them winning 13-6.
Okay.
I see them winning 20-6.
Okay.
The Dutchmen are gonna start off slow, but the Chris and Chris connection is gonna pick up towards the end of the game, and I think the Wolverines are gonna struggle to score more than 6 points in this game. That's why I see the score the way it happens.
That means Dem Gettas to get the wild card winner. Dem Gettas versus Dutchmen.
I think Dem Gettas are going to blow the Dutchmen out of the water. I think that there's going to be too much offense for this Dutchman team to stop. Even though the Dem Gettas team lost Moses, I think that all the other guys are going to be too much for the Dutchmen to recover. I think that it's going to be a lot to little bit. I don't know the exact
Give me
score,
the score. Just
but
give me the scores.
I would say 22 to 8. 22 to 8 is my safe bet. They're going to win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Number 2, Carver Mob versus number 7, Shockers.
I see Carver Mob winning 14 to 7. I think that Carver Mob not necessarily look the best in offense, but I think that they're gonna find a way to pull away anyway. They're gonna find a way to put up 2 points and lock up on this Shockers team. There's gonna be too many drop passes on the Shockers for them to do anything about it, and that's why that game is gonna end the way it does.
Number 3, the defending champ, Super Friends versus number 6, Never Scared.
I see the Super Friends winning this game 21 to 6. I think Never Scared is going to be able to put up 6 points early, but then Super Friends momentum is going to be too much for Never Scared. I think that Dion is going to be able to connect with this Super Friends team. They're going to turn it up in the playoffs.
Can they shut down Sean?
I think that Sean is going to be their only score in the game. I think that Sean is going to find a way to score in this game, but that's all it's going to be. That's going to happen for Never Scared, so they're going to lose by more than 2 touchdowns.
Number 4, Violators versus number 5, Spartans.
I see this game being 13 to nothing. I don't see the Spartans being able to score through this Violators defense. It's going to be too much. Yes, the Spartans have been picking up as this season's going along. They had their Raiders guys Raiders guys like JJ and them finally come in and put in some effort, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get through this Violators defense.
Number 1, 99 Problems in the East, defending Eastern Conference champs, gets the bye. So you got number 2, IOD versus number 7, FOE.
I think IOD is going to win this game 20 to 6. I see IOD scoring once in the first half. They're going to score again twice in the second. By then, there's going to be nothing for FOE to do. They're going to be able to score 6 points late in the game. But other than that, I don't see nothing else happening.
Number 3, YMM versus number 6, Browns.
This is a toughie because regardless of how bad the Browns ended the season, they have too much potential for me to see them go out too easy. So I think this game is going to go down to the wire. I think that YMM is going to beat the Browns 14 to 13 at the end of the game.
Number 4, Rebels versus number 5, Reps.
Again, another toughie because the Rebels have been playing very well towards the end of the game. They ended the season with a forfeit, unfortunately, so I can't really gauge exactly where they're going to be, but I see them.
We have some people saying upset this game.
That Rep City beats.
I don't know if you say upset 5 beating 4, but we have a lot of people saying Rep City is going to win this game.
But I think that it's going to be close.
So what do you think, though? Do you think that's... Can you say
it's
yes?
possible. I think that Rep City can upset this Rebels team.
Who you got winning?
Can they upset the Rebels? Yes. Do I see them winning against this team? No. I see the Rebels just pulling away, winning 21 to 14 with that last score towards the end of the game. The Rebels been finding ways to end the game at the end, and I think that's the way they're gonna win.
So you see no upsets, basically.
No, I don't see no upsets in the first round.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Great regular season. I don't do the games because I ref, so I leave that to Ghost. But great regular season. Next week we'll have award nominees. The week after we'll have the All-Stars. So listen, great way to end the season. Great regular season. Shout to Tim, did a great job with the schedule, and we're happy to be here at the end of the season. And we just, for y'all that don't know, Ghost changed his shirt because he was hot.
Yeah.
But we just did 7 games straight in one day. Usually we split it up, but we end up doing this on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because we had some things. Ghost had some assignments at school. I had issues at work. My wife's birthday was yesterday. So we did 7 games in one day.
Yes, and like as happy birthday to Jay's wife, my sister Donna. You know, happy birthday to you. Obviously, I wasn't able to be out there to celebrate, but listen, this weekend's coming. We'll be able to do something. So shout out to you. Happy birthday.
We're going to wrap this one up, guys. We're going to see y'all next week. Playoff time. Get ready. Get ready. We're going to debut for next week. We're going to debut the Tough Talk song, the new Tough Talk song by Herbie with the remaining teams in the playoffs. We was going to do it this week, but we got caught up with so much stuff. We're not able to do it. So next week, when the show start, you'll hear the new UFL Tough Talk song. So we're going to be back with y'all next week for Real Tough Talk. I'm Stephen J, my partner Ghost. We're out of here. Thank y'all for being with us on Real Tough Talk. See you guys next week. Playoff time. Get your popcorn ready.